you ever put somebody on a pedestal? Have you ever said to yourself, you know what? Somebody else is better than me. They're like more elevated. They know more. I know less than them. Have you ever done that? Welcome back to another juicy episode of Diaries of a Six-Figure Coach podcast. This is the conversation that I desire to have with you today. Why? Because in this industry, in the coaching industry specifically, I see this all the time. Within entrepreneurs, within women, I see this all the time. We look at other people, we look at other things, we look at their processes, and we take them and we put them on a pedestal. We put them on a pedestal and we say what they're doing is elevated from what I'm doing. What they are having is more than what I have. What they are doing, how they are showing up is putting them on a pedestal. And by putting people on a pedestal, what we're really doing through this process, oftentimes, is that we are basically saying, you're on a pedestal and now you are better than me. And whatever it is that you say or you do, your process trumps mine. Trumps mine. And this is an experience I just went through that caused me to fully fall out of trust with my own process and my own way of doing things in business, and caused a bit of self-sabotage in terms of how I was showing up. And it took me a few weeks to realize it and to learn it. And then literally last week, 2 weeks ago, when you're listening to this, I had a full-on breakdown about it. And it pulled me into a massive wobble around my worth, around my value of my work, around what I was doing, about my ability to create results. Like, it pulled me down a rabbit hole. I was in full on breakdown. And through the breakdown, and I feel like this is the process of breaking down sometimes, but through this breakdown, through all this shit coming out, let's call it what it is, I realized that I had placed my coach's process, my coach's approach on a pedestal and said, this is better than what I do. This is more valuable than what I do. This is more and I am less, and my process is less. And I realized in my breakthrough through all this, that by doing that, I had taken a lot of time and capacity away to focus on my launch in a way that I had originally intended. And to be honest, there's never a failed launch. This is always going to be a learning experience. And there's beautiful women in this space with me. But I had sabotaged my process. I had sabotaged my progress. I showed up differently than I wanted to, or approached it in a different way than I wanted to. And the biggest thing for me was that I realized was that for the first time in a really long time, I felt tired going through the launch. I felt tired. And this is something like, I don't teach launching in a way that makes you feel tired, because the way I teach launching, the way I share how to launch programs, do live launches, is so it's so in alignment with how you show up and to you, that really throughout that process, you really, if anything, should be feeling more energized and excited. And so the fact that I felt tired really showed me that I wasn't following through my alignment, that I wasn't following the way I was doing it. I was trying to integrate something new into my current launch process while being in a very important launch, really using up a lot of energy and time and capacity to do that. And so I felt tired because the new things I was looking to integrate or trying to implement, when you use this word, it's a really good way. I was trying to implement something new. It was taking me a long time. It was taking up all the space instead of being committed to my process, my way of doing things, standing strong in my power, and knowing I pedestaled the other things, and that's what I did. And as I realized it, I just noticed for myself that that is a pattern that I had been in for a very long time. And it was a pattern to be released. And boy, was it a release when I started realizing that. And the thing is that I want to add here is that nobody's on a pedestal. They're only there because we put them there. So what we really have to do is take them down from the pedestal so we're level again. And then when we're level, what we can really start to do is say, we're all different, we're all unique, we all have our own processes and systems, and they're all equally valid. All our strategies are equally valid. All the ways in which we show up in itself are equally valid because they're valid to us. As long as they're in congruence with our own values, with our integrity, with our worth, they are all valuable. So somebody else's way of doing things, somebody else's way of being in this world, somebody else's strategy, somebody else's process to launching, somebody else's anything you can think of, it's all good. That is their process and it works for them. That is their strategy and it works for them. That's their way of being and it works for them because they are being who they're meant to be and they're showing up through the way they're doing things in alignment with who they are. So their strategies work for them. So the way they build their businesses work for them. And when it doesn't work for them anymore, they go and they get support, they hire other coaches, they do what they have got to do to be able to refine their process and upgrade their process and implement the systems and the strategies, for example, to scale, which is the process that I am going through. So there is parts of my strategy, there's parts of ways, my business systems, the way I do things that I know can use refinement, that I can know I can make it better than it already is, so that I can scale my business from $100,000 to $500,000. That is the next milestone for me that I am moving towards, that I'm working towards. But I got to be able to have some things in place and the business structures and business practice in place to be able to do that, which is why I got support. But throughout that, it was really important to understand that support, hiring somebody to help you do something in your business, for example, doesn't mean that they're better than you. This relates to anything that you do. If you hire somebody to help you with your health, or maybe you are helping people with their health, maybe you're a health coach, or maybe you're a mindset coach or a confidence coach, right? Like as coaches, I don't ever see myself as better than or as an elevated person to my clients. I see myself as equal, and I literally just brought this up in the welcome conversation in strategic because this is such an important piece for me. But we wouldn't be looking down to our clients. We really don't. Yes, we are leaders for people. Yes, we're guides, we're mentors. Yes, they receive from us, they receive our gifts from us. But in exchange, as their guides, as their mentors, as their coaches, we receive a monetary exchange, we receive an energetic exchange. But beyond all that, by us sharing our gifts and our gifts being valued, we get a tremendous amount of fulfillment and joy and gratitude from the work that we do, which is priceless, priceless. But we often see our clients as equal as us, yet as a client, we pedestal people. And that shows up in other areas of your life as well. So the key thing is that I want to ask you to tune into for yourself this week is really tuning in. Are there people in my life? Are there things in my life? Are there strategies that I've been learning that aren't really in harmony with my process, that don't feel fully aligned to how I desire to show up, that maybe feel like this big old should, but you have decided to put it on a pedestal and say, no, but it's better. It is better than me. It is worthy of more than I. So when we're pedestaling people, what we're really doing is we can easily take a beating on our own self-worth and not really stand rooted in it. And we can devalue our own work and our own process by creating these stories around what it means that this other strategy or this other thing works for somebody else. So when we notice that we're doing it, we can take people down from the pedestal. And again, this is about collaboration. This is about community. This is about connection. And this is about co-creation, the process of co-creating experiences, co-creating results for our clients. And the co-creation process for me is delivered in equal parts through the energetic exchange that we share when we're in coaching containers together, when we're in a program together with our clients. This energetic exchange is what allows us to co-create, is what allows us to collaborate at a higher level, is what allows us to grow at a more rapid pace and to grow our businesses at a more rapid pace. So learn to take people off the pedestal. Notice when you're doing it. And when you are, hold compassion for yourself and just take them back down and then move with that, right? Take them back down and then move with that. Move from the place, make decisions from the place, integrate strategies and structures and systems from a place where you see what they do as equal. And take what lands for you, take what speaks to you as something like, yeah, this feels really good for me. This process works really well for me. I want to try this. Take those pieces, and the pieces that are like, I'm feeling resistance. If you're feeling a lot of resistance, those might be pieces that need a bit of change and tweaking to make them work for you in your unique way. Or there might be things you may not be doing in your business. And then guess what? There is another strategy out there. There is another way of doing out there that can work brilliantly well as well. And this is the crazy thing about building online coaching businesses or building online businesses, is that there's so many ways that work. We literally get to create the ways it gets to work. We get to create the ways we build our businesses. We get to create in ways that light us the fuck up. So learn to take people off the pedestal, because putting them there is ultimately only going to do you, your self-worth, and the value of your work harm, because you're not standing fully in it. And this is a big lesson to learn, because when you're standing in your worth and when you really own the value of your work, you will be able to charge more premium prices. You will be able to fully stand behind the results that you're able to create, which builds confidence. And confidence is so important, because confidence attracts and confidence magnetizes, and confidence ultimately, because of that, sells. It sells. So, who did you put on a pedestal? Who are you willing to take off the pedestal to level with again? Start here, dive into that, because this is so juicy. And when we release this, there's tremendous opportunity for you to create a process that's really in alignment with you, with your strengths and with your values, that works for you really, really well. So this is a wrap for another episode of Diaries of a Six-Figure Coach. This is such a juicy conversation. I feel like I might bring this up again, so bear with me. But this is also a way of you to play a bigger game by leveling with everyone instead of pedestaling people around you. You level with them. You're equal with them. This is playing bigger, because you'll see yourself as a part of the leaders, as a part of the successful people. Because you are, if you're listening to this, I truly believe you are already playing a bigger game, and you are already there. You might just not see it, or maybe you've forgotten who the fuck you are. So I'm so excited to see what downloads for you from this. I'm going to see you again next week. I'm going to stop waffling now. Waffling is my thing. And I love you so much. It's so exciting to be finally having this podcast out in the world. And I'm just so pumped to continue to inspire you, share, and help you build your businesses. And I feel like the next episode, we're going to get down to business. We're going to get down to business. And I haven't fully tuned into yet what I'm going to be sharing, but I might share with you how you can steal my launch process, my launch plan. Wouldn't that be fun? Anyways, food for thought. I might change my mind, and I'll see you again next week. Take care.